Hello, guys. Welcome to my first reaction. Let's
You
go
are the
with it.
gatekeepers. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. So,
I just,
what's up?
I don't know. I just feel like it sexualizes women.
Wait, don't you have an OnlyFans? Are you used to?
I know,
Like,
yeah.
She already talked about that. She's capitalizing
Oh.
on men.
No,
being
whoa,
that
I wasn't
way.
hating. I was just like,
No,
no,
but
yeah,
I'm just saying,
I
she
understand.
already said
This
that,
isn't
and,
the
like-
work that I want to be doing. I'd
Yeah.
rather be working in a laboratory like I want to, but it makes me
Yeah.
money and I know I can make money off of it, so I'm going to.
Yeah.
That's why I do.
What?
Okay, guys. How to start? When I was a young boy, my mother told me that there is a little devil telling me some bad things, making me do one that wants me to do some bad things. And there is a little angel telling me the good things that I should be doing. And I should listen to the little angel. I don't know if your mother told you something like that, but my mom did. And that is a very good representation of how people work. That devil and that angel is not a devil and is not an angel. The devil is your corruption, and the angel is your conscience, right? Those are quite real things. You have a conscience. The same way as you have conscience, you have also corruption. How does corruption work? Well, corruption is egoistic. Corruption always wants you to take the easy way out. It doesn't care about anything except you. And doing things with as as how to say this, do only the things that are easy to do. Well, it's not easy to describe corruption, but mostly that's how it is. This girl I see will be a good example to tell what corruption is inside of every human being. So she says she doesn't agree with what she does. She doesn't agree with sexualization of women, yet she participates in it. So I bet her conscience tells her that she is doing something wrong. But on the other side, her corruption says everyone is doing it, so why shouldn't you? Right? And she listens to her corruption. I think she is beautiful, and beautiful girls have the pretty privilege. I guess men, there are some handsome men that also have privilege, but it is a lot more rare with men. There are a lot more beautiful women because it's easier for women to be beautiful, so they have more privilege, pretty privilege. What does that mean? When a woman like turns 16, I guess somewhere around that, a door is open for her where men are doing things for her, buying things for her, winning her attention, fighting for her, and those women get used to it. Those women get used to it, and to some degree, they are getting sick of it. That's how those women are end up with assholes because they overtly are exposed to men just fighting for them. Now, what does that do to a character of that woman? Well, that is a good environment to learn how to live according to what your corruption wants you to do. That what she said is that is I'm doing it, but that doesn't mean I agree with it. That is exactly what corruption would say to for her to do what corruption wants her to do. It's an excuse. That's how corruption works, right? Okay, let me turn into her corruption for a minute, right? So, look, everyone is doing it, so why shouldn't you? Look, you don't need to tell anyone that you're doing it, right? You don't need to tell anyone, but you can do it in secret and just look at the money, it's worth it. Or look, the society is the issue over here. It's not, there's nothing wrong in what you're doing. The society is constructed their own way. They shouldn't have anything negative to say about what you're doing. Right? Everyone else is doing it, so they're not getting that treatment. Why should you? Look, you're young and beautiful, so take advantage of what you have right now, right? And later in life, you can pick the hard choice. Or, look, you are doing nothing wrong. If your conscience is telling you that you're doing something wrong, no, it's your conscience is wrong, right? Because there's nothing wrong in what you're doing. You already know because you're a good person. You're a good person and if you're a good person, that means you know what is good and evil, and you're a good person, so it doesn't matter that you're doing it. What matters is for you to stay good. Right? You know that this is wrong, and that's all. That's all you need to know. Right? You can't keep doing it. It doesn't matter that you're doing it. You're not adding anything to society by doing it. No. No. It's the society that is wrong. The moment where society will stop, will do some reconstruction. That's where you could stop. That's how corruption works, right? It's giving excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse for her to take the easy way out. To be more greedy. To be more corrupted. That's what corruption wants. Corruption wants more corruption and will make you more corrupted. That's why it's called corruption, right? Sorry, that's wrong. What you're doing, red-headed girl, matters. What you're doing, okay. Maybe there will be another time to say it. I don't know. Let's skip up.
What's your point about
the video.
sexualizing? I don't know.
Well,
really
I
understand.
was just surprised. I didn't think you would be surprised by like what I was saying about like the 10 foot. I just assumed you would like
Surprised about what?
Okay, I have
about
no
like
clue
the
what you're
10
talking
foot
about.
like radius.
I
things.
know.
Like, assumed you would,
Not
like,
that I'm
already-
surprised. I just don't like that personally. I don't like that women can be overly sexualized.
Definitely.
I don't.
You're
I'm not
only
even
fa-
trying to
you're
understand
an
what you're saying. Like, what do you
OnlyFans
mean
girl.
overly, like, because
Well, she's right though. Everything overly is wrong.
they have an easier time having sex. Like,
Well, it's like, oh, a woman can like get with whatever she wants. Like
sure.
I don't know. It just like doesn't sit right with me, I guess, because
It doesn't. Ah, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. A woman can have whatever she wants. Doesn't sit right with me. Yes, because that statement shows how corrupted you are, and your conscience is giving you that unpleasant feeling, is pointing, your conscience is fighting back. And it's how does conscience fight back? By, well, giving you an unpleasant feeling that you're doing something wrong, that you're carrying responsibility and you're guilty. That's how your conscience fights.
Like,
Because you disagree. You
no,
disagree with the premise.
no, you've definitely changed my mind. I do agree that I'm starting to agree with you that
Okay.
it probably is much harder for men to
Yeah.
get women to sleep with them. Unlike for women, they probably can get whatever they want if they wanted to. But I just like the idea that like men would only seek an opportunity with a woman in terms of that, like that kind of just grosses me out a little bit.
Well, I don't.
Whatever channel is kind of a Red Pill channel. If you guys don't know what Red Pill is, I won't explain it. But they do seek the whatever channel. It's great. There's a second one, Fresh and Fit, and I will react to some of their videos also. They will possibly strike me, but well, I guess we'll see. Look, what Red Pill teaches is, man, if a man sees a girl on the streets, right, the urge to come to her is a sexual urge, and his intentions in coming in the talking to that girl and having the conversation and everything is to have her, right? Is to have sex with her. Partially that's true, right? We are men, and of course we have those urges, and there's nothing wrong in saying that we have those urges. Yes, we want women. We have all the women. We want all the beautiful women. On Monday one, on Wednesday another one, on Thursday another one, and all of them dedicated to us. We love attention also, right? Not only that, we love, well, I will say something very controversial. We love ownership over women. Now, don't start off, let me finish, right? It is controversial, and I get it. It is controversial because society has deemed owning another person as immoral. It's slavery. And slavery is immoral. And we've learned that lesson. But even today, there is a specially constructed slavery that is acceptable by everyone. It's called having a pet. Yes, we have pets and we love them. We treat them as human beings and we care about them. And our love is genuine. We still own those pets. We don't want them to feel like being owned, but on the other side, we want to retain the possibility of saying, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, etc. Right? Now, that is not slavery. That is something else, but it's quite close. That's why I use the word ownership. It's something else than slavery. And ownership, let me tell you, women would not see the world without men treating them, at least to some degree, as owners of those women. Now that is controversial, right? Look, we are constructed to conquer. Not only that, we are constructed to protect. We are constructed to defend. We are constructed to fight. We are constructed for confrontation. We are constructed to make peace. We can't do none of those things without that urge. Without that feeling, you can't. Okay, let's do it like that. From that feeling of ownership, comes the need of protection, comes love, comes caring, comes, well, like building a future. Plenty of good things come from that feeling of ownership. But also, what you can telling what you can do and what you can do, that also comes from that feeling. If you would summarize all the good things and all the bad things that come up from that feeling of ownership that we have, you would end up at 0. If you would write down on a list all the positives that you love and that you don't see a relationship without those things, if you would make a list of those things and a list of the bad things also that come with that feeling of ownership that we need, you would end up at 0. It has as much good as bad. So is really that feeling of ownership something that you don't want? Trust me. If you would live in a world when man could not feel that feeling of ownership, that world would be depressing for you. No one would stood up for you. No one would fight for you. No one would come up to you. No one would do any good, nice thing to you without you doing something nice to them. You would live in a man's world, basically. And that world is depressing. Plenty of women tried, and they found out how depressing it is. You don't want that, trust me on it. Anyways, that feeling of ownership is something very important. And society deemed it as wrong, and society uses slavery as an excuse to tell you that that is wrong. You would need to look deeper. You would need to look deeper with an open mind, with a mind that could agree that ownership is actually quite good. You get a lot from it. Okay, I started this discussion from something that I already forgot about. What was she talking about?
Seek an opportunity with a woman in terms of that. Like, that kind of just grosses me out a little bit.
Well, I don't think that's.
All right, we were talking about that. So, when a man first approaches women, yes, that we want to make that woman ours, right? We want to have her, but that comes from our sexual urge. There is no doubt about that. The Red Pill is right about it, but that's not the whole story. There is a second part of the story. When we approach that woman and we start talking to that woman, we check her character. If her character is good enough, and men tend to look for things to qualify women, so it's easy to pass that test, you would have to have a very repulsive character in order for a man to say, sorry, you're not my type. You would have to be the complete garbage if man said to you, no, you're not my type. If you are beautiful, right? If you are his type, he approached you, so possibly you are his type. I mean, you would have to be at the bottom of the scale for a man to do that. That means character is also important, and we do check that character. If it is repulsive enough, we will just, I guess we won't care, right? It's okay to have sex. Let's have sex. Sure enough, yeah. It's better to have sex than not have sex. You're no longer a part in an equation, right? It's nothing. But you're gone to that man. You're no longer a person that he wants to claim ownership of. That's basically what happens there, right? That feeling of not wanting a woman, it also comes from that feeling of ownership. You see how much women get from that feeling? I mean, let's stop saying that ownership is evil. There is as much evil as good in it. It's neutral.
What we're
I don't,
saying.
I forget exactly what you said, but
But the point is, the red pill is not always wrong. Sometimes the red pill is missing the second part of the picture.
Was it men sleep with who they? Sorry, women sleep with who they want. Men sleep with who they can.
yeah, I don't know.
What was it? The radius thing? I'm just.
I mean, the radius thing is like, whatever. Maybe I get like would make girls uncomfortable for safety, but yeah, I was just surprised because like if you, I mean, clearly it's profitable, literally,
Yeah.
for you that like women are sexualized. Like a man in your
It is profitable.
Like,
Do I want
your
the world to be that way?
equivalent
No.
Yes, the answer is yes, a red-headed girl. How it works. Imagine Lady Justice. Lady Justice has a sword and has a scale. Lady Justice comes up to you and says, put all of your intentions and your conscience on the left side of the scale and put what you're doing on the right side of the scale. And the rule is, what you're doing weighs 3 times more than your intentions and your conscience. And that, the result of this scale will show what is your imprint on the world. And your scale shows more sexualization. Your imprint shows you want society to sexualize women more. I get it. Your intentions are not there. Your intentions are on the scale. You have been waived. Your intentions have been waived. It's not enough. The result is what it is. So sorry. You can't say that you don't imagine, that you don't want the world to be that way when you are the person that is creating this world. You are literally creating the world that you say you do not like. Again, that's
But you're
like
you're
never-
benefiting.
I am benefiting
from that.
Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't mean I like love it. I don't think any woman would love.
Well, that's convenient, don't you
I
think?
know, I do. I think
that's a very good comment. That's very convenient, because that is what corruption does. It keeps you that feeling of being convenient with doing the wrong
it's very
thing.
hypocritical, but why wouldn't I profit off of that if the world is that way?
Oh, that what? Okay, where is it?
And I like love it.
and your
It is
Okay, this is where it's not her talking. This is those words come purely from her corruption, right? If as an example before, that is basically the little devil what is telling right now.
profitable. Do
Listen
I want
to
the
it.
world to be that way?
Male.
No.
But you're
like,
you're
never-
benefiting.
I am benefiting
from that.
Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't mean I like love it. I don't think any woman would love.
Well, that's convenient, don't you
I
think?
know, I do. I think it's very hypocritical, but why wouldn't I profit off of that if the world is that way?
Yeah. You can see how she is used to taking the easy way out and listening to corruption. She has all the excuses to keep doing what her conscience doesn't agree with. What is the other side of the coin? What is the force that makes you do something against your conscience? That is called corruption. And corruption fed her every single excuse to make her feel good doing the
Why
wrong
wouldn't?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm able to profit off of it, then why wouldn't I?
Well, but I mean, if you're engaging in it,
Because your conscience says it's wrong. That's a simple answer.
is it really something that you ought to be criticizing? I mean, and I'm not even sure it's like women have agency. Women have
Yeah.
sex.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
I get what you're saying. You're making a silver lining out of this situation.
Do you disagree?
No, I'm just.
That's fine.
I think women tend to become a sex symbol more than men. I think that's true.
Well,
Yes.
if women here, I'll say this:
Yeah.
if women are sex objects,
It's more easy for women to be sex symbols. Are there men that have a pretty privilege? Yes, but it's easier for a woman to have privilege because it's easier for a woman to be beautiful. And fair enough, that's how it should be. Like, a woman's body is beautiful. It is beautiful. Right? It's a wonder how nature made it.
then men
I
are
don't-
success objects.
Oh. I don't think women are sex objects. I think we're portrayed in society. We can be portrayed in society.
You betray women as sex objects. The scale has told
society
the
like that. And I
truth.
don't think all men sexualize women, and I don't think every single person in society does that, but I think there is a tendency to sexualize women.
No wonder. That's what you're doing, right? That's the society you created.
But you do that yourself. Like you're
That's the result.
sexualizing yourself.
I mean, yeah, but I make profit off of it. Is it something I want to do? No.
See her corruption? Yeah, but I make profit of it, and because you make profit, that makes it okay. Really? That's your logic. Because you make profit, that makes it okay. Okay, so if I would tell you, hey, here's $1 million, kill that guy. You're the person that would say, yeah, no problem. You're making profit out of it. So what's wrong? Because it's just the wrong thing to do. Now your corruption told you, oh, sorry, this is only, you're not doing anything wrong over here. This is just showing your body, and you have a beautiful body. Look at the attention. It's good. Do it more. It's not killing a guy, right? But if you're not that person that would take that money and kill the guy, then you know that there is something wrong. That this excuse is just an excuse.
But I do make good money off of it, so I'm going to do it. I don't necessarily have to like the process of it.
I make good money in my job if you want to start working.
I mean,
I am wondering if the process she is referring to is fighting with her own conscience in order to do it, because
yeah,
that's
I'll happily come
Yeah.
work over there.
Yeah, we there's like if you're telling us like right now you don't
Right.
want to be doing what you're doing.
Look at that opportunity. There is an opportunity. Hey, you can work there. You can work there. Yeah, I'll go there. It's like she's waiting for an opportunity to hit her in the face. How used to having the easy way are you? How? That's not how it works. You quit. You fight for the opportunity. If you want to live according to your conscience, you quit and you fight to get that opportunity. Not take the easy way out and the corruption says, and the opportunity will show itself. And you know what will be next? What will be next is when opportunity will show itself, what your corruption will say, okay, so let's compare at least how much you're earning here and here. And what do you need to do? Where is that place? Is it convenient? And then what your corruption would say, that's true, but if once the opportunity showed itself, it will show itself later also. So you can, you are young, so you can keep doing what you're doing and get the big bucks, and later take that the other road. Corruption never stops.
I can promise you there's ways for you to make money, like good money that aren't that. if
No,
you
I
don't- if you
understand
don't
that.
like it.
No, I don't. Here, let me clarify
Oh, sorry, my bad.
this. I enjoy my job. I don't enjoy always being sexualized. I'm fine with being sexualized occasionally because I like feeling sexy. I do. As a woman, I love feeling sexy. Do I want that to be my only thing that I'm known for? No.
But I think it's a bit of a
Yeah, that requires work, which you're not willing to do. So,
benefit or privilege to have agency due to your sexuality, in so
not only work, that also requires giving up from the pleasantries of listening
Far
to your
that-
corruption.
most men could not start an OnlyFans and make money posting fucking, like, there's not a market for it. There's really not a market on the women's side for desiring
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is a small market. There is very small, of
male
course.
men on OnlyFans, for the same reason why there's not a lot of male prostitutes. There's not a lot of there's barely any male strippers. So, I mean, you have
There's
agency
drag queens.
Uh-huh. And that's
through
why
your sexuality.
But I don't feel like you guys are exactly hearing what I'm saying. I'm doing it because I know that I can profit off of it. I know that there are men who are going to be intrigued and will pay money to see me doing all that stuff. Is it a society that I want to have those views? No. Because when I look at a man, I'm not thinking, oh, like, I want to bang him so badly, or like, I don't have those thoughts about when I just see a person. I don't immediately just think that stuff.
Okay.
I know that people would think that, and like, I don't think that's like, I don't know, would you always want the people around you to be like, oh wow, you're like so sexy, I'd bang you?
No,
If men would be completely honest, if someone casted a spell on the world and told there will be no more lies on this world, that is exactly how every single new interaction between a man and a woman would start. Most of it, right? It is true at that point. Later on, this would change, right? We don't know your character, so how can we approach you because of your character? Explain me that. You think like, oh, this woman, I bet this woman is a very successful woman. I'll approach her. We don't know if you're successful or not. And if you look successful even, well, that is not how we are built to work. It will never be like that. We're men. We are fragile. And okay, not fragile, but we are suckers for women's beauty. We are suckers for women's beauty. We are suckers for conquering women, as many women as we can. We haven't woke up one day and decided to be like that. I didn't wake up and decided, hey, this is how I will from now think about women. And then I started thinking like that. No, I was born like that. Just as you were born to not think like that. Thanks to that, we are the chasers, and that is what you like. So there is an advantage for you.
I wouldn't.
No, but I'm just confused. Sorry, if you don't like being sexualized all the time,
Yeah,
then
but
I don't.
I mean,
then
and like, not
you can choose
I'm
to
not
not do
saying
work
me
that isn't
specifically.
sexualizing.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying just me specifically. I mean, just like in terms of like society as a whole, women do tend to be sexualized more, and I wish it wasn't that
Yes.
way.
Okay. I think I got it figured out. What is happening here? Okay, let's have an example. First time in history in a grocery store, you see oranges. First time in the history, grocery stores started selling oranges. And there's like 60% of people not buying those oranges. And you are just one person watching that interaction. And you have thoughts about that. What those people are doing, well, they might not like the taste, they might not know that there are oranges, or they just don't feel like it right now. It doesn't mean they hate oranges, right? Just because they're not buying it doesn't mean anything. Now, you as a person watching that might think, you might have two conclusions. One, there's something wrong with oranges. B, there's something wrong with society. Right? The thing is, if there's that feeling she is referring to might not come from the society, it might come from her. It might be her conscience telling her that, look, you're doing the wrong thing. Right? That's what her conscience might be telling her, right? But so her corruption counteracts conscience and is telling her, no. Listen. The conscience is wrong. It's the society that does it. But the source of that feeling that you are not accepted comes from you. Those people don't buy oranges because they just don't have money, etc. They don't hate. They don't go protest to selling oranges. They don't say to their friends, hey, have you tried that? You know, it's called an orange and it's disgusting. Don't eat it. They're not doing that. They're just not buying it. So the source of this unpleasant feeling comes from either from you or the society. My guess is that sexualization you're referring to, the source of that bad feeling comes from you. Basically, it's the way your conscience is fighting your corruption.
I see, but it's a point of empowerment to capitalize.
It can
on
be,
it.
yeah, no,
Like,
totally.
exactly. Sure.
Like taking over like what your sexuality is, like that is empowering. But it's when it's negatively viewed when I don't like it.
So
Yeah, that's what your conscience would do. View it negatively in order for you to not do
just
it.
so I'm understanding here, it's wrong that men want you.
Can we
I'm
go
just-
to the next
Can we,
topic?
can we change
I'm
topics? I
so
feel like we're
tired.
Yeah.
diving
Just
into
go
in
circles.
All right.
It's not
Last
that
super
big.
chat here. We got Shane M.
That's the end of the video. All right, that's it for my reaction. See you in the next one.